Okay, now let's take a look at Ikea and its tailored value chain. As you examine this slide, you'll see that there are a number of differences between the way Ikea stores operate and the way a typical furniture store will operate. The first thing that jumps out is that Ikea offers a standard product while a typical furniture store will work with all custom product. Standard product implies a lower cost due to all the benefits of buying in large quantities. Ikea has fully stocked a combination retail store and warehouse, and they can set up their standard offerings in a full home setting where the customer can see how the product will look in their home. That customer has been trained not to expect any extensive sales help, but to rely instead on the detailed product description tag to answer any questions they might have about a particular piece of furniture. In contrast, a typical furniture store will have a limited amount of merchandise on the floor, all of which is custom type furniture and all of which can be used as a way for the typical furniture store sales group to create an environment where their salespeople could use their design knowledge to custom sell the product and upsell the customer on a larger sale. Larger inventories of IKEA standard products allows that customer to buy and take home their product the day they buy it. By contrast, a standard furniture store will have to custom order the product, and this is because they allow for a much wider variety of fabrics and custom product design. And this means the customer may have to wait 4 to 6 weeks before they get the product that they just purchased. Notice that if a typical furniture store attempts to copy any of the distinctives of IKEA, of their value chain, they'll have to do so at a cost disadvantage. For example, they can't match the selling costs of IKEA with their custom designed salespeople. They can't offer same-day delivery. They can't offer standard product prices with their custom product line. IKEA set up a defensive perimeter that protects their position and makes it difficult for anyone to successfully attack that position. Now let's take another example out of the furniture industry. For short-term use of an automobile, Enterprise Rent-A-Car has developed a unique approach primarily servicing homeowners for their occasional needs for a loaner car at a low price. They position themselves in a way that is entirely different from the other major rent-a-car companies like Hertz and Avis. But there's also a second option. You could use Uber. And here you can get an inexpensive way to drive to your destination, paying for only what you use. It's a different level of service to meet a different level of need. Still, a third approach is with Zipcar. Here you get the same experience as Enterprise, but for a rental period as short as an hour. By uniquely defining whom they serve, which needs they serve, and for what specific price level, there's room for all three competitors in the marketplace without anyone stepping on anyone else's toes. Well, let's see how IKEA uses its tailored value chain. Specifically, they've transferred the delivery and assembly of their standard furniture to the customer. And this is all a result of an accident. They had a customer who was unable to get their furniture into the back of the car because it had been pre-assembled. And IKEA quickly saw that they could design and package their products so the customer could easily take home the unassembled product, assemble it at home, and get it into the car. This is how the flat pack was developed. And look at the advantages that IKEA gets from using this approach. Because the customer takes the furniture with them, there's no shipping damage. Furniture is bulky, and the flat pack reduces inbound shipping costs for IKEA by 84%. Because the customer takes with them there is no outbound shipping costs. The customer gets the advantage of same-day delivery with no wait time. And no one wants to wait 4 to 6 weeks for furniture that they wanted at the time they actually purchased it. And finally, IKEA has found that customers were actually willing to pay more for the privilege of doing their own assembly at home. IKEA and the other companies that you're analyzing, only in this case you're going to have to do the digging to see how those companies do it, have made conscious trade-offs. And this means there are certain kinds of things that they do because it will make them more efficient and certain kinds of things that they're unwilling to do because there's no added value for their defined customer set, and all it does is increase costs. This means that IKEA has been willing to walk away from certain customers. It's one thing for companies to define that they will choose to do trade-offs and walk away from customers, and quite another thing to have the discipline to consistently honor those trade-offs. A great deal of the success of Blockbuster, Netflix, and Sears at its glory days was the discipline of honoring their trade-offs. I always think about this as a contrast with a company like Jack in the Box, where the menu changes so constantly and where there never seems to be any definition as to who the customer is that they wish to serve.